I feel so privileged to talk about what camp has meant in my life and means in my life. I grew up going to camps as a child.
I've attended this camp over 7 decades.
I'd say I've gone to it every year since I was 10, and so it's always been a part of life for me.
I figured out one time I have lived out here at camp more than any place else in my whole life.
To where I call this place my home.
I'm having trouble coming up with one memory to share because I'm just being flooded with so many little memories.
My very earliest memories from camp is at Shagbark in the 50s, starting with Cub Scout camp and the Metropolitan Scandinavian Divisional Music camps.
One of the first things I can remember when I was little out at camp, walking past when Lucy Thomas was working in the garden, and she called me over and showed me a snapdragon flower, and she showed me how you squeeze the sides of its little mouth so that it opens and closes, and I thought that was just magical.
Paddle boating with my friends. I was always scared of falling in. Ever since I was little, I was like, what's in there? But the whole view of the lake is pretty nice. You can see across, and it's just a nice view to just sit back and look at. It gives you like a lot of perspective on things.
I was 14 years old, working as a dishwasher at the Wonderland camp. One night while the music students were attending their nightly concerts in the amphitheater, we boys got restless, so we decided to go to the boys' side of the Shagbark camp and mess up their beds. The next morning, I saw Major Charles Langley, the director of the camp, in full uniform with tears on his face, apologizing to all the students for what his boys had done. I thought for sure I would be fired. The major never said a word. He continued to treat us as he always has, a kind, understanding officer. I'm here today because of the impact he made on my life.
When I think of Camp Wonderland, I think of legacy. My mom and dad met at camp, and it's the place where they eventually fell in love and ultimately got married.
I've been married 56 years now to Janet Guerrero, and the first time we ever held hands was right outside the chapel, walking on the road.
It was at Wonderland that I proposed to my wife, and she said yes.
The roots are deep. I would say my spiritual roots in Christ, my pilgrimage and growth in Christ started out here.
I was greatly influenced at CMI by such great musicians as Howie Chesham, Ron Rowland, Art Schultz, and John Jane.
Yeah, just incredible people that came and used their gifts and just inspired me greatly, and I think inspired the majority of camp.
Glenn Welch, who I learned how to love practicing my horn, watching how excited he got about Arbin's exercises.
It was like the first time that like a guest, especially someone highly musical, actually like saw something in me.
About 12 years ago, I went through some horrendous health challenges. We didn't know what the future would look like or if I would even have a future. And I was standing on the road in front of the chapel when I got the call from my doctor with the test results. It had shown that my heart had made a recovery. Everyone just came running over, and we laughed and we cried, and I can't believe that I got those results while at camp, one of my favorite places in the world, but it also seems just like an added gift, surrounded by so much love when receiving such special news.
Steve Harper must have been leading some kind of a parade at CBLI or something, because I just picture him with this big smile on his face, leading people of all ages who were dancing down the road to Shagbark. Just how cool it was to be part of something like that.
Good friends, great leaders,
The lifelong friends and dedicated leaders made for a spiritual impact that I will always treasure.
The sports and the fun times.
The Ball Diamond, believe it or not, has great memories for me here.
Steve Diaz was somebody so relatable and funny and real, just was pointing me directly to Jesus in just a really different way.
I've loved it each time I've come. It's been a great time to see friends, family, and just reconnect, learn new things, and just be in awe of just like how God works in the midst of this space.
All of the nights in the amphitheater.
I would say it is probably the place for you to open up and get out your comfort zone.
Yeah, so many fun times, fun holy times at camp that I'm just so grateful for, that I was able to bring home to my real life because I felt grounded. I had this feeling inside me that the Lord was real and the Lord was reachable, and it always was easier at camp to connect with the Lord because all the distractions of life would go away. But then I knew how to do it when I went home, and I was able to bring that with me. I'm so grateful for Wonderland.
But it was an opportunity for me to come, meet new people, and to learn more about God, and that's why I fell in love with this place.